Shalom. Call hello Yahweh Bashem Awashai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, to be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwath that are listening and learning. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And these couple videos, these corporate short videos that I'm going to profile here. This one here is called Staten Island Bar Manager Appears to Run Over NYPD. And this is from Now This is News. All right, that's the channel. Now This is News channel. All right, and it's funny how verbiage and things are changed when dealing with Edomite males and females, Edomites in general, versus the verbiage just used in the media when speaking about Jake, because they always speak about Jake as if they're guilty already, automatically. Here it says it appears to be running over a deputy, which is, utterly insane that they would just, that they would say that. But this is all stemming from that one bar owner that in Staten Island, they were declaring it an autonomous zone. And I said back when that thing happened, when Antifa and BLM out on the West Coast in Washington State, in Seattle, that autonomous zone, that more autonomous zones would pop up in America, and that spirit of rebellion. All right, but I'm gonna tell you this though, you cannot make an autonomous zone in here. Jake tried it many a times. Now Jake being under the curses, but the curses are now rapidly falling upon Esau. Let's read this. This is Deuteronomy 30:7, and it reads. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and upon them that hate thee and which persecute thee. So now these curses are falling upon Esau, because why? They're losing their businesses and their livelihoods, and they're getting put in the broke house, in the poorhouse. And what it's doing is it's turning them violent. So that spirit of rebellion, that spirit of insurrection, that spirit of civil war, which is also going to turn into class wars and race wars as well. All that is going to happen. All right. And you try to build an autonomous zone in America, the government will put you down. They did it to Jake. They did it in the Black Belt here in Chicago. They did it in Elaine, Arkansas. And of course, they did it in the most famous of the stories, which was Black Wall Street. All right. But and other places. They did it also in Rosewood. All right. And so that autonomous, if you don't know what that word means, I'm going to give it to you. Autonomous means having the right and power to self-government. All right. And autonomous territory, undertaken or carried out without outside control, self-contained. All right. So when Jake tried to have, an autonomous lifestyle, had their own banks, their own grocery stores, own movie theaters, own nightclubs, and was actually doing better than Edom in Black Wall Street and the Black Belt here in Chicago. You had Edomites were coming to shop in our neighborhoods. They were coming to get loans and things out of our banks. And the hatred that Esau has, well, the racial, the race riots happened, and they destroyed, murdered, killed, and confiscated everything. All right, so you're not going to have an autonomous zone, and that would go for these Israelites who are trying to build, in a fallen economy, in a fallen country. Trying to get first class seats on a Titanic. It's still sinking, man. All right. It's still sinking. But without any further ado, let's play some of this video with this ominous music. It sounds like Jason or Freddy Krueger's about to murder somebody.
This is when we take our country back. Today, I am proud to be an American.
Wow, this is when we take our country back. See, it was never their country. They stole the country in the first place from my people. And then they brought in the other half of my people to build this country for free. All right? See, that's the deal with Daniel Presti. All right? This was never his country. All right? This is you Edomites are walking around on stolen land, on stolen property. And now you're getting a taste of what it feels like to have everything taken from you. See, the curses are falling upon you. And it's a beautiful thing to see. It really is. Call hello, how about Shimon Shai? Almost sounds like the video game The Warriors. This ominous music.
People say it's an act of defiance and we're just going rogue. This is to bring awareness and say we're struggling, and a lot of people in all these businesses, we've lost a lot. And in the beginning, we were okay to sacrifice. We sacrificed everything at this point.
It's repugnant to the values of any real New Yorker. You never assault a police officer.
Now, you're talking about one of the most violent, crookedest police departments in the United States that have assaulted people all day long, every day. All right? And not only, you know what, and when you think about it, it's across the board, man. I'm just going to call it like it is, man. I know I got cops that are friends of mine that grew up with me. And I'm going to tell you right now, the majority of them should not be cops. One of them, I would never say his name. I know he had bodied a few people before he became a cop when he was gangbanging. All right? Got on the police department, and within 6 months, he already bodied somebody. All right? Then you got all these racist police officers, which is the majority of them. Point blank, period. A lot of them become police officers just so they can have power and authority and to abuse Jake. Same reason why a lot of them go learn the grappling arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Russian Sambo, Judo, just so they can toss you on your head and then put you in some bone crushing joint manipulation hold or chokehold. All right? This is what they do. All right? So now all of a sudden, the cops being once again the victim villain. Because look at the man is driving away. He's no threat. He wasn't brandishing a weapon. All right? And them being because these law enforcement officers were set up to defend Esau. Point blank, period. And he has to understand that he's not a part of that elite club. He's a small business owner. Because what goes on in his bar is no different from what goes on in a Walmart or a Target. Because America is ran and controlled by these corporations. And all these politicians are bought and sold control, including Como. And that's just what it is. And they've sold America out and sold out America. and all you people who've been proudly refer to yourself as white, you got sold down. You're in the same boat with niggas and spiggers now. Yep. So there it is. These plans to shut down everything, man. This devil here. Like I always tell you, man, you beware of bald-faced necktie-wearing men, especially the ones of the pale persuasion. And I love it, this high definition technology of today. You can clearly see that he is not white. His shirt is white. I love it when Edomites wear white shirts, because it goes to show and prove that that is not their skin color. That's the label that they assigned to themselves in 1681, and they ran with it. All right? With lack of understanding what white means in the Bible, it's referring to purity, not skin color. And there's nothing pure about this devil right here. Okay? Let's click to this other video with the sheriff. Because you got these sheriffs out in Southern California that are also in rebellion mode. And actually, they're not rebelling. They're trying to uphold constitutional law. Darn commercials, man. Salakia. There we go.
Sheriffs in LA, Orange, San Bernardino, and Riverside counties all say their deputies won't be enforcing the lockdown. Now, the Riverside sheriff made it very clear, saying his department will not be blackmailed, bullied, or used as muscle for the governor and the state order. Watch.
The dictatorial attitude toward California residents while dining in luxury, traveling, keeping his business open, and sending his kids to in-person private schools is very telling about his attitude toward California residents, his feelings about the virus, and it is extremely hypocritical.
I agree.
These closures and stay-at-home orders are flat out ridiculous.
I agree.
The sheriff instead asked for people and business owners to take personal responsibility with the virus, use common sense, wear a mask, and social distance. Now, the LA County Sheriff also says his deputies will not enforce the order, but instead concentrate on voluntary compliance, and he will be targeting super spreader events. A shortage of ICU beds throughout Southern California's region triggered the state order and will impact.
And they keep saying that the shortage of beds, and how the hospitals are overwhelmed. Yet I know of a couple people who were actually in the hospitals and came home and said that their hospitals were practically empty. So once again, we have, and this is just information coming from people who left the hospital. All right. But once again, here you have using things. They love to use information that cannot be challenged and cannot be looked up and that cannot be fact checked. And then they run that information over their media outlets over and over again. All right. That's how there's no such thing as independent media and journalism, because if you were to many people have put together compilations of media across the states. Well, they'll show a 5-minute clip of 80 to 100 different news media outlets all saying the exact same thing, which means they all got the same memo. It's so evident. And yet Americans are so stupid collectively, it almost makes me sick how stupid and gullible these people in this country really are. All right. But flip side of it, I'm happy, because that's going to speed this whole thing up, so that Esau needs to do what he's going to do so that the Lord can act, because they know that they have a short time. So as soon as you go to put your hands on the elect, it is on. This is 2 Ezra 15, and I'm going to start at verse 14, and it reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." This is because that's what this is going to lead to. These sheriffs, because a sheriff is elected. A sheriff, the deputies can apply for jobs, but a sheriff is elected. All right, and as your society falls, a sheriff is in that ranking structure where they can actually step up and take over stuff if government starts to implode or fall. They're in that lineup. All right. But it reads, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in that power." And you best believe these military forces and these law enforcement militarized law enforcement agencies are going to meet resistance from many of their own. All right. A lot are going to quit, and a lot of them are going to join to these militias. And you got to think too, a lot of these militia members are in the military and in the reserve status, and a lot of these militia members are also in your police departments. And these militia members are indeed pro-constitution and pro-freedom. So you can really have some serious issues, man. And then you throw in the regular citizens, and man, this is a powder keg for a disaster, man. This is like a gigantic fireworks factory. All right, that's unsecure, and you got a whole bunch of kids running around playing inside of there with those sparkler things that light up. It's just a matter of time before the whole place blows. All right, and that's what this, and that's that's the best analogy I could think of off the top of my head to compare this situation to. All right, verse 17: a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's already starting to happen, man. The prophecies are jumping off the pages and strolling down the street. It's no longer it's coming. It's here, people. It's here. If you think 2020 was bad, 2021 is going to be way worse. All right? And the taking of this Vaseline vaccination is not going to change anything. It's just going to give them more power and more invasive control over you. All right? Because now they're going to have the technology in you to where now they don't need to do anything because they know where you are, what you're doing, what your heart rate is, if you're having sex, if you're not, if you're lying, if you're happy, if you feel good, if you feel bad. And they know all your financial situation, every bit of it, your health. That's that because they want to be godlike. That is what this is all leading to. That is exactly what is happening. Because all this is going to lead, to this digital dollar. How do you think the digital dollar is going to be regulated and spent? All right. You're not going to be able to buy, sell, trade, travel, or any of that. That's what this is all coming down to. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for the great tribulation. And that's what you're seeing now. Violence had the uptick in violence has been tremendous here in Babylon. Home invasions, carjackings, robbings. All right. Men trying to snatch women in broad daylight. That's coming, man. You already got sex trafficking and the kid, they traffic children and women in America all day long, every day. All right, now it's just going to get more open. You think that was something that was just going on in Eastern Europe? No, it's happening here too. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem, the Abishai, by Hashem, Rakak Wadash, Wa Abba Babal, Shalom.